Today, we're going to be Italian pirates for no reason. Ar matey, shiver me timbers. So, I don't know, never mind. So I'm in a goofy mood. Didn't sleep. Um, apparently my sixth sense was detecting carnivorous clowns or something. I don't know. But I wanted to do a little hangout, talk about just completely random shit. Because I have something that I wanted to share with with my Honda people, in particular. And I don't know if I can manage to pull this off because um, it's a little goofier than even the shit that I normally do. But it's fucking borderline brilliant, and my objective is to get my kids to do it on a little video and then send it to Honda. Um, so bear with me. I'm doing this mostly. The reason I'm doing this on the channel is to scar Joey for life, and because I know this is going to get stuck in his head. Okay. Honda bike do 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 do. Honda bike do 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 do. Honda bike do 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 do. Honda bike. Honda quad do 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 do. Honda quad do 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 do. Honda quad do 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 do. Honda quad. Honda fit do 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 do. Honda fit do 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 do. Honda fit do 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 do. Honda fit. Honda car do 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 do. Honda car do 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 do. Honda car do 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 do. Honda car. Honda truck do 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 do. Honda truck do 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 do. Honda truck do 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 do. Honda truck. Honda jet do 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 do. Honda jet do 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 do. Honda jet do 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 do. Honda jet. So that's what I terrorized my children with this morning. They were not entirely amused, but I'm still gonna get them to fucking do it. Oh my god, you're such a dork, Dad. Uh, I am not this skinny like a rack. My shoulders are like lurched over right now because of the way I'm sitting, and because I wanted to get them up on camera. It's like the anorexic cousin Fester, Uncle Fester. Well, he'd be your uncle, my cousin. Wait a minute. Oh shit. So yeah. Anybody else have that problem of their penis being too big? No, just me. It's such a problem. It's so annoying. And Joey. Joey just texted me when I said that. Please don't drink it live. Oh. Because I sent him a message. I'm gonna scar you for life on the live stream. Honda train do 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 do. Honda train do 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 do. You already missed it. I think I got them all. All the single syllable ones possible. Honda bike, Honda quad, Honda car, Honda truck, Honda jet. Honda boat, but I don't really know how to do Honda boat. Honda boat, do, 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 do. Honda boat, do, 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 do. Honda boat, do, do. Ow. Honda boats apparently throw my back out. Damn it, Honda, why don't your imaginary boats come with a warning label? I mean, they thought of everything else. My kids have baby sharked me to death on numerous occasions. Just and now because of Meow Meow Choca Chow on Final Fantasy 13, we have a new game where we go like cluck cluck goes the duck, moo moo goes the shoe. Rah rah goes the ba. Like, just the less sense it makes, the better. Brian Brian goes the lion. Apparently he's hungry and Brian better watch the fuck out. If anybody has any more, feel free to share. Reminds me of this fucking game I used to play in middle school with my friends. Different variations on Carpe Diem and what they meant. Like, Carpe Denim, seize the jeans. Carpe Deacon, seize the priest. Oh wait, Carpe Dumbass, seize Trump. Carpe Dildo, seize the lesbian. Carpe Devo, seize the whip. Let's see what else I got. Come on, you play. Either bark bark goes the ark, or Carpe drumroll, seize the snare. I guess that was funny if you were a band geek in middle school. Dingo, I thought your nose was getting better, baby. Dingo, come here, baby. Dingo. I'm so worried about him, like, I watch to make sure he's still breathing when he sleeps. Like, I wish there was something I could fucking do for him. Kira's supposed to visit the see if they'll do a payment plan. If there's anything they can do for him. Anyways. Speaking of puppies, and Oh, and penises. Dingo. Um, it's been a while since he's had any pussy. Okay. Back when my mama had her dogs, when he got done fighting with both of them, he'd sit there back there, just one after, just one at a time. Just they'd be sitting there lined up in a row, facing the same way. Dingo was getting his, man. But he's still got his balls. He's not neutered because he's the most tame fucking dog I've ever encountered that wasn't like professionally trained. And he's certainly less hyper than most dogs that are professionally trained. He's always been really mellow. He knows what stay by me means. He don't wander off. So he still got his balls. He don't hump. He don't get on nobody. He occasionally tries to hump the air. He used to try to hump the air over a kitten. Oh yeah, just like sniffed its butt too long and just got excited and tried to hump it, but it was too short, and so he was just humping the air over it. And that's a sight you can never forget. But lo and behold, he done topped himself. Because the other day he woke up with a boner. And he apparently just did not know what to do with it. He was like standing up, but still curled up like he was sleeping. And he was sitting there just like kicking halfway, and like his boner was just sitting there dangling. He was like kind of walking in circles with his boner dangling and half kicking, and like you want to look away but you can't. Just you want to help but you can't. Like lay back down, or you want to go outside? No, he just kept spinning. His dick wasn't on his nipple, but that was fucking special. Like I always wondered what the Tasmanian devil would look like if it was slowed down. So, Honda car, Honda car. Anyways, so yeah, there's nothing more annoying than having a big dick in a tiny toilet. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of the maneuvering that has to be accomplished to like piss and shit in the same sitting. And I don't know about y'all, but like if I'm gonna shit, I'm probably gonna piss. Like the worst thing is when I think for a second that I don't have to piss. Oh, it's just gonna be a nice dry shit this time. Oh, every time wrong. You gotta do this little thing so it doesn't fall in the water. You gotta like drop it down and kind of fish it back at the same time before you can like settle. Yeah. I don't know. I think my penis might look exactly like Mr. Clean because seems to make women want to do housework. These are the jokes, folks. These are the jokes. I thought of them earlier, and I tried to remember them, and it actually worked. I have some seriously sick fucking stand-up comedy written down. I was like spending like the whole day kind of calculating and taking my time writing it. Give you a sample. Um, I I once dated a girl who looked like Richard Gere. Not like in a bad way. And I mean, that doesn't make me gay or anything. It's just like I didn't even realize she looked like Richard Gere until I saw her dad. And her dad looked fucking nothing like her, so I was just wondering what the milkman looked like. And if there's any millennials, uh, the milkman is, how should I put this? Your real grandfather. Well, so I started thinking, what did this girl's dad look like if not her dad? And I kept thinking, just nothing. I mean, nothing else came to mind but Richard Gere. I realized she looked like a little sexy female Richard Gere. Did I stop fucking her? Nope. But I did wonder, you know, she didn't like just like look like Richard Gere and like another woman had a kid. She looked like Richard Gere had a clone and it came out female. So I kept wondering, did she come out of Richard Gere's vagina? Anyways, that's a sample of my pre-written actual stand-up. What'd you think? What'd you think? True story, by the way. True fucking story. Somehow, when I was 15, I dated a 14, 13-year-old girl that looked like she was Richard Gere's butt daughter or something. Good one. Uh, I remember trying to jerk off to Pretty Woman when I was a kid, you know, but I kept on getting horse is a horse, of course, stuck in my head. I mean, don't get me wrong, Julie Roberts is a beautiful girl, but a girl like that, I need to see in person because they don't put the camera up here. You know what I'm saying? That straight on shot, you get the full length. And it's just like, she's not going to date me anyway. My name isn't Wilbur. Um, with that, I'm going to add that one, Joe. Anyways. There's a good analogy in there I could probably do free by itself. When you're young, your ass looks like coffee smells. You know, good morning, rise and shine. Just defies fucking gravity. When you're old, your ass looks like pizza dough feels. Somebody hand toss me. Come on, is this shit funny or what? Come on. I don't know. What do I know about funny? I'm not Jewish. How the fuck am I supposed to know what funny is? I only use comedy to escape pain. I don't use it to escape guilt, so I don't. It's asking for feedback, Joey, not more jokes. Oh, the last one was fucking great, though. I didn't realize I had a problem until jerking off a pretty woman. Richard Gere was on the screen. And don't go annoying your wife. She'll have even more things to talk to you about. I need to talk to you about something. Can you listen? What am I, one of our fucking children? Yes, yeah, I can listen. And that was right when my wife logged on to see what I was live streaming. Let's see if there's any other shit in here I can put on here. Some of this is just fucking raunchy. I had watched a bunch of roast clips before I wrote all this. It's like 3 or 4 pages. Okay. This is a random interjection tangent after a series of raunchy stuff. Talking about while I was thinking of this other joke that I had written down. My wife had interrupted me and I lost it. And almost lost it. So it almost went to that, land where jokes you forget to write down and tell go. Where do they go? They only get told to an audience of unmatching socks and gay black Republicans and Democratic primary candidates who lost. Like, where the fuck are those guys, really? Like, the Republicans, you can't get rid of them. You know, like a Democratic primary Republican is just like guaranteed a job on Fox News or something, just gonna annoy the shit out of you forever. Democrats, I can't even remember their fucking names. Malcolm Nance? No, Malcolm Nance didn't even run. He was like, oh, oh. Who? Anybody remember any? There's Bernie. And then there was, like, especially in years past, you know, you remember this election. But man, you got primary candidates from fucking 5 elections ago still on Fox News. And is it just me? Or do right wing pundits act like Satan's Jewish mother? You know, like they're always worried about every little thing you do, but all the advice is destructive instead of coddlesome. You know, it's the exact opposite of anything good. You know, don't let anyone tell you you need a flu shot. Don't listen to your teachers; they're just a bunch of liberals. Don't worry about the weather. It's just a conspiracy. Global warming, eh. But Mom, Dad's a garbage man, so we kind of need a fucking flu shot, and I don't need a jacket in August. And for fuck's sake, Mom, you are a teacher. At least you used to be until you brought a loaded gun to the airport. Also a true story, by the way. Wait, that was a fictional mother. Why did I throw a true story in there? Shit. Anyways. That was a little side interjection between actual jokes. Satan's Jewish mother. Make sure you're not home for Christmas. Because you're deployed overseas. Satan's Jewish mothers. That's what fucking Republican pundits are. They don't make you feel bad when you're guilty. They make you feel good. Oh, there was no contact between the Russians. They went up to anything. That's just gossip. It's the opposite of a fucking real Jewish mother. Oh, they were up to something. Oh, you better believe it. Oh, darling, you know they were. Satan's Jewish mother, Republican pundit. Goes from no collusion. No collusion. No contacts with Russians. Oh, well, if there were contacts, there's still no collusion. Oh, well, if there was collusion, then it wasn't a crime. And if it was a crime, it's nothing serious. Apparently, they haven't even managed to advise him to call a good lawyer. Definitely the opposite of a Jewish mother there. You got Giuliani. I think Giuliani might actually be Satan's Jewish mother. I mean, he is part bat demon after all. They both sleep upside down. Yeah. Does that mean the Crypt Keeper is Satan's father? Because that's the only thing that would fuck Rudy Giuliani. Anyways. You know what I want to do? I want to get into the fucking presidential debate and say, before any of my distinguished fellow candidates should consider themselves capable of making any foreign policy decisions regarding Russia, I would like to just challenge them to describe to me the identities of the following people. Poroshenko, Timoshenko, Yushchenko, and Yanukovych. Like, could you say that slower? I need to write those down. Google them right quick. The little fucking notes. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't use notes for debates. Not at this point. Back before I awakened, I probably still would have been very good at debating most politicians, but now, it's just gonna be more like, okay, listen while Daddy's speaking. Okay. Trump didn't know about the fucking nuclear triad. I say we expand the nuclear triad. In Pentagon. And the 2 additional delivery systems will be rotated and kept secret. Y'all don't even fucking know what leadership is. I mentioned I taught the God of War everything he knows. The point of reality is to end the fact that I taught reality everything it knows. Your jobs are to teach reality more about itself, basically, and thus become your own realities. But not in a non-communal sense, not in a sci-fi multi-bubble universe sense. Anyways, what I just miss. um, you're probably going to want to split it up in 2 half days, Joey, to really maximize business. Or better yet, work at night. Fucking close up at 9 a.m. Open up when people are off of work. Get them to drop off your cars. Then they pick them up in the morning. And that way you could avoid the can I get an oil change here? People, you know? Until you hire help. Then you could run 24 hours. Or you could have sales by appointment. I could certainly help with that. I could be selling cars during the day. Look up some kind of fucking buzzer to get my attention when people show up, right? And I don't sleep, so I'll probably wind up helping you with the damn cars at night, too, so. Come put that shit on live stream, son. How to make a 93 Honda ride better than anything for sale today. Man, I've driven a lot of different cars down my driveway. And my fucking Accord is the best one. The seat in it isn't even that damn comfortable. Like, it's not like an Acura seat. Not like a modern Honda seat. A little caved in. The guy who had it before me was a little fat ass, so that seat's kind of fucked up, actually. But still, it just, the whole car feels so squishy. Just fucking you wouldn't even be able to tell if you hit a pothole if you didn't hear the noise, you know, just be like something. I think there was some curvature to the road. The road is flat. No. Oi, 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 oi. So if somebody sends me $49,000 right now, I'll disclose all my inventions and just focus on real estate. Yeah? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah? And then you can try to race to the patent office before any of the other trolls get to you. Beat you to it. Yeah. That's not very smart of me. That's just me being impatient. I need to be patient. Although then there's the voice of, you're trusting your father. Dumbass. Don't trust your father. That is a stupid thing. Do not do stupid things. But I never thought I would even hear him consider leaving Florida. That's his substitute New Zealand. Like, he would rather be back in New Zealand. Okay. So would I. But I've convinced him that it is his fate, and I'm pretty sure he has arrived at the logical conclusion that you stay here as long as you have purpose. You know, people who die before their time are usually careless in some way, barring severely unfortunate things caused typically by carelessness on other people's parts. That includes the spread of disease, by the way. That's just carelessness on everybody's parts. I would so love for society to get over all of the bullshit that it sits there and tries to pretend is an argument. Okay? Not knowing from whence their opinions even come from. And actually come to the point where we can focus on not like eugenics, okay, but societal wide betterment. And frankly, there are some pretty weird seeming ancient customs that that have a place in society, and other things have taken their place because there is nothing of that anymore. Um, and the overall genetic quality of mankind is missing out on that. And what I'm talking about is, instead of going out to the club and fucking the best looking stranger, there would be kind of organized competitions. And basically, it would be for the purpose of having children. And basically, a girl who even already had children and her kids weren't very smart, or her kids weren't very athletic, or whatever, could go get herself some sperm of her choice and have a nice little time doing it. And instead of fucking putting girls to sleep at frat parties, the men in turn had something productive to do with their time. And men are all too happy to donate, you know. But that's like, you know, what the Olympics were for and shit like that back in the day. Only today we could make a whole, uh, a much more sanitary process of it, and make a lot of money for Olympic athletes while you're at it too. Actually, maybe get some sort of perverse national interest in intellectual accomplishments and shit like that. Let me read that in a second. Um, Basically, have an annual competition that the, say, top 100 winners put their sperm or eggs up for sale. Okay. For a sliding pay scale, you know, like like, you know, if you're that poor, you don't need the gold medalist, right? But you should be able to afford like the runner up in this little thing here. Your freezer pack sent directly to your local clinic or whatever. Club's dangerous in Ireland because they're all so closely related. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm in central Louisiana. Anytime the bars are open, I could just sit there and go, right now, two cousins are dancing with their hands a little too low. You know, like, and their beer bottles are a little too empty. Nothing left but Ribbon crumbs. That's the little blue footballs for the girls who didn't remember that night. I was given 2 rohypnols by a lesbian friend of mine. And I took one, and then I went to go pee. And then I went to a little computer room to go play solitaire on my IBM 286. A long time ago. I was like 15. And I passed out before I could actually sit in the chair with like my mouth like this, and like I woke up face and shoulders on the chair, knees on the floor, like one of them little spinning black computer chairs from back in the day. That lovely material on there. I guess I gotta feed the cats. They're all climbing into the fucking food bag. Oh, that's right. Simba's fat ass was in here, wasn't he? Laney, there's food left in that bowl. Being obnoxious. Speaking of obnoxious, but yeah, man, I just fucking like maybe 3.5 minutes, and I could not make it to that chair, and I like went down on it like this, you know, because they got wheels on them, and I remember it rolled a little bit, and then I just kind of settled in. Tapping the ass of expectorant? No. And don't tell on that bullshit, because this ain't Michigan or California. The only pipe I smoke on the channel is tobacco pipe. Um, yeah. When I run out of cigarettes, though, I do roll tobacco joints. Or cigarettes. So if I told you my penis was the size of a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex's arm, would that really tell you anything? Like, wait, it's the size of a toddler's arm. It's generally referred to as being a large penis, but it's a baby, but it's small. But it's a T-Rex, and that's a dinosaur. But T-Rexes have tiny arms, so they're small again. So I don't know how big his penis is now. All I know is that it has 3 little claws on the end. And see, the best thing about having, three claws on the end of your dick is it can wipe itself. You know, grab the toilet paper, and you can scratch your own balls with no hands. Oh fuck. Yes, yes. Um, I don't think a mere rule change could accomplish that. I don't know what conditions to set for that one. I don't know. I don't know, like the JavaScript, how to program that. Hoi, 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 hoi. Carpe Decaf sees the McDonald's employee who's lost his goddamn mind. Carpe Dishes sees the cup. Ah. Carpe Digger sees the corpse. I think my favorite part about live streaming is making faces at myself after I tell jokes. Yeah, I got all that was left in there. So I got about yay much of cold coffee. Oh. I came up with a few more of those modules. Been working on that. What fucking page is that on? Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark. So annoying. It's like, where was it? Oh, the aircraft carrier. It's an aircraft carrier comprised of smaller aircraft carriers. Even the engines themselves are fucking detachable. It's one word: survivability. That is a great fucking design. And no, I'm not sharing it on here. The Russians cannot have this. They just keep on using their little bitches at YouTube to make sure that I'm never successful enough to formalize anything, because it takes money to formalize shit. Making sure the page wasn't showing up on there. Oh look, I might be sharing my patents, so there's more viewers showing up. I wonder if those are real people. Mama shark do 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 do. Mama shark do 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 do. Mama shark do 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 do. Mama shark. Daddy shark do 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 do. Daddy shark do 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 do. Oh, from Germany. Translate the following sentence. Aus Verheim hat hinter den Blitzen brought. No, that was a joke. I'm not gonna give away my fucking patents. Apparently couldn't give them away if I tried, because I can't even flip to the right one. Where the fuck? Where's my little modules, the big modules? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's a nice one. Apparently, the person in Germany is unable to translate the sentence in German. Just in case you didn't know, we have a problem with a little bit of a shadow banning situation where we can only consider it shocking as hell when a legitimate new viewer actually shows up to this channel. So we've all got our little quiet little community here, just like friends just fucking chatting at this point. Methinks I know too much. Anyways. So, the module I want to brag about, because it's too brilliant and I actually doubt the ability of anyone to figure out how I've managed to do this durably. It is not a slide out keyboard, although theoretically you could have a keyboard in the mix with this. It is a slide out 4-channel studio, complete with 4 separate mic inputs, sliders, physical sliders, not touchscreen sliders. And what it allows you to do is to have a studio app on the screen doing what the studio app is supposed to do, while you can actually mix everything. And still fits in your pocket, still combines with other stereo condenser mic, subwoofer with party lights, full range stereo speakers. Oh, credit card and chip reader, USB, Wi-Fi, and data hub. I was even thinking about doing a 4-player legacy game controller hookup. How sweet would that be? You know? And that would be separate from the different video and audio options that I already have. So, got the way this all combines, you'd never figure it out. It's so just smoothly and brilliantly done. But basically, giving the ideas of what it can do away is perfectly fine, because it can do everything. Anything that you'd want something the size of a fucking pack of cigarettes to do. Reflecting telescope. Yeah. Binoculars. Oh yeah, with the whole fucking Terminator readout and everything. Oh, it'll be great. Oh, I just had another good idea. Oh, I'm not going to tell you about that one then. Sorry, I just got to sketch that down right quick because that was. Like, you know, I like giving away the general ideas of extra little novelty type things, you know, right? And just saying that yes, this motherfucker can do that too. But when it comes to something like this that just makes everything else better and it's just too cool and it's just what so many people actually want, yeah, gonna go ahead and keep that one close to the vest. Let's see here. Give away my hand gestures while I try to figure out the little physics of it. I like how most of the different things, most of the different little modules so far aren't just marketable for one reason. They don't just serve one purpose. You know? And going down the line, it's going to be the ones that serve multiple purposes and the ones that are, you know, like a really trendy type purpose that come first, and then the more specialized things would come later. That's too fucking smooth. And that could be like, I mean, that would hardly add any extra depth. That's bitching. Oh, so fucking sweet. Who's still here? Is that Conway or Joey? Again, I could have fucking missed something by now. How I know it. Joey. You see, somebody paying me outright for my inventions would be a wise business decision on their part. I should be retained for a very large salary and given resources to invent more shit and constantly improve my inventions. Exhibit A. Exhibit A that you're not allowed to see. There it is. Excuse me, apologize. Conway's back. Can't watch live streams on his computer. Grinds to a halt. Close the tab. Empty the the temporary internet files cache. If it's on a system that you know how to go manually into the temporary internet files folder, manually checking to make sure everything deletes is sometimes wise. Um, and then depending on the browser, after you delete the files, try to reopen the browser in like a safe mode, or what do they call protective mode, some shit. Anyways, but what do I know about tech shit anymore? It's been a long time since my training and experience really applied. And after being a custom computer guy for a long, long time, I think it would be nice to apply the benefits of a custom computer to the idiot world. You know? So it's repairable, but the skill required is, can you put the star in the star shaped hole? Can you put the triangle in the triangle shaped hole? Can you put the circle in the circle shaped hole? But repairable in the sense that um, overall usage of materials is reduced by means of interchangeable parts. Um, but it's the hot swapping system itself and some requirements that I set for myself that might give away some of the engineering, but yeah, good luck on making it look as sexy as I've done. And good luck making a new type of instrument that can read your mind. Huh? An instrument that knows how you feel, okay? And the beginner's instructions are this simple. Pretend you're a musical conductor and move your hands as such. Fucking instrument for everybody. You don't learn how to play it, it learns how to play you. That will be the fucking trademark slogan. Yeah, which means probably fucking some red Russian's gonna register in 5 minutes. Oh, it'd be funnier if it wasn't true. Anyways, what am I doing? Okay. Wishful thinking there. Anyways, so what's going on with y'all? Ah. Um, Try installing a second browser. Like, what browser are you using for your college thing, you know? Install a completely different browser. That might help. Hey, Previously used screen name person. I'd go with what I know, man. I'd go with what I know. We just had somebody in here claiming they were from Germany. I just wanted to, you know, check and see how full of shit they were, because I happen to know some German. I think they left. But real people are more than welcome around here. Because I know we do occasionally have the journal or otherwise that occasionally watches. Ah. All I can say is it's nice when my jokes make it on late night TV. Miss Q is in Australia. Interested in funding the development of the flood-proof houses. That would be helpful. I believe my last total was 183,000, depending on the price of the land that we start with. And I had some cheap fucking land at that point. I don't know if that land's still available, but so the range is around 200 grand, and the projected return rate after 10 years is around 800 gross. Ownership percentage to be negotiated. But I got that all written down somewhere. I've been on to too many different things since then. I'm fully going forward with the plan. It's just evolved a little to include a few more other things. And if I can pause and get a patent off to a American company that I'm proud of and collect revenue from that, oh yeah, I'll take the week that it would take to get one of these motherfucking things. I'm talking the little blue screen special inventions that I was referring to. Easy peasy. Fucking development is going to be a cinch. They're $20 products, you know. They're $19.95. Although they do come in each one of them. Not that this is any sort of clue. Each one of them comes in regular and commercial use versions. And each one of them are needed in dozens and dozens of industries. Okay? Not just things people are going to want. Things people are going to know that they've needed for years when they see it. Okay? George Foreman Grill can go fuck itself, okay? That's what I'm sitting on right now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to do some business in Australia. Where in Australia did you say you lived? And how'd you hear about the channel? Because I know exactly how a real Australian would have heard about the channel. But then again, one of my Russian stalker trolls could figure that out. Oh, I know where that is. I've never been there. I used to live in Sydney when I was a wee lad. So, didn't exactly, drive around a lot because I was 5. But we traveled around the country, and I was always been very fond of maps, especially maps of Australia. New Orleans is my home, but Australia and New Zealand are the places nearest to my heart. And I don't mean the countries. I mean the physical land masses. Anyways, oh, so something I'm really good at is speaker and microphone design. Um, Something I've been educated on in college, and I'm really enjoying having something to actually apply all of these original ideas I used to have on, like, would this work? Would this work? So I never just take a class. I fucking participate. I become part of the class, basically. Uh, like, imagine being in a fucking college class with me. Yeah, I feel kind of like an asshat for telling this, but I've actually had the teacher make the class give me a fucking standing ovation at the end of the year in college. Like, fuck, I feel old enough already. That was interpersonal communication. And the teacher, fucking diesel ass looking black dude, okay, he was from Kempwood. He knew exactly where I had lived when my fucking parents first got divorced. And if anybody, knows the Houston area and they know about Kempwood, they look at me and say, "You live there? And you're alive?" So yeah, we bullshitted. But it was interpersonal communication. I've always had a thing or two to say about how to analyze politics. And at the time, we were going into Iraq. I mean, the Iraq war had just fucking started. So it became kind of a political class. And I was definitely help educating them kids. And by kids, I mean people who were 3 or 4 years younger than me. So I didn't wait that fucking long to go to college. I dropped out in the middle of the high school to get a job in my own fucking place and went back, graduated high school while working full time. 3 jobs at one point, if you include selling internet service on the side. But and then I got hit by a car. It couldn't happen like right before all the scholarship people came to the school. It had to happen right after all the scholarship people came to the school. What a pain in the ass. Between the pain and being worn out, I was just like, I'm not going straight from fucking high school into college. It wound up being a lot longer than I wanted it to, and it wound up being not the fucking college that I wanted to, but I got talked into it by the person I'm waiting on to fucking move here from Florida. Like I said, I'm trusting him to do something that he said he's going to do. And it involves money. Later, Joey. Trusting my dad with something that involves money. Oh. It's definitely a choice. You know, it's a choice. It's not something that you do because it makes sense. It's like sometimes you just gotta punch through. Okay, I'm gonna plan contingencies around if he actually does what he says he's gonna do. But I'm still gonna keep my plans that were in place as if he was fucking gonna, stay in Florida and chase women that are, only 50 or whatever. My dad is probably one of the healthiest people you ever fucking met at his age. And like, I don't mean for his age. I mean, at his age, he is one of the healthiest people you've ever met. He can fucking bench press me. He was once trained, but he's a complete pacifist. He's not, waiting to snap like me. What can I say? I'm married to a Serbian, and, there's a reason why I qualified for that shit. I don't believe in, like, revenge or being an asshole or anything. I just occasionally am overwhelmed by the sensation that someone's parents did not beat the shit out of them nearly enough. So now I have been called upon by fate to do so. It's just like, hold the urge back, hold the urge back. What parish am I in? Where are they going to take me if I... fuck. I'm in a nice country town with a nice little, small, quaint little lockup that's always nice to white guys. Sure, I'm gonna beat the shit out of that motherfucker. I'm kidding. You know, if you're gonna be, you know, exercising your road rage, just make sure it's one of them towns where, like, when the cops come, you just say he called Ronald Reagan a coward, and they're like, oh, we'll join in instead. You know, I miss those kind of towns. He said he was trying to get Prince to come play here. Now, local joke. Conversely, if you're black, you want to make sure you have road rage in Baker, because that's where the black cops fuck with white people. Oh yeah, the tables are turned. I believe it was Taekwondo. That's the gist of what he showed me. If I assess it correctly in retrospect, because he only could show me basic shit when I was younger. And by the time I was doing fucking specialty kicks that I invented myself and fucking backwards and forwards flip moves and shit. There's only one total inverted move that I would still do to this day. Because if I did any more than that, I would never be able to walk again. My back would just go nothing. And if I do the kick that I'm thinking of, which I called an inverted flash kick, that's gonna fuck me up pretty bad. But I'll still do it occasionally just to make sure I can still do it, and I can do like a little combination of exercises that equate to it, you know. But I'm looking forward to getting down to this dojo that my kid's going to. Speaking of martial arts, because I was looking at a video of their little no contact sparring thing. It's adorable, but it's like entirely useless. And having taught such things for thousands of years, I got a few tricks up my sleeve, and I'll go ahead and show you a couple of them if you want. Um, I finish my cigarette, move my sketch pad, get my left foot to not be asleep anymore. Oh shit. and get the kitten off my lap. When did you even get here? And what is on your nose? Is that how your nose has always looked? You been having your fucking face in my coffee or something? Like what? Look at his nose. Looks like he dipped it in coffee. There he goes. See, he won't stay up there because I'm not leaning back far enough and I don't have tits. Um, yeah, Tai Chi is useful for people who like to pretend they're wizards and for actual wizards and people who are fighting people that they know are slower and hopefully weaker than them. Like people are fighting somebody who's untrained. Tai Chi is a good way to uh, make the fight go quickly. Similar to Aikido in the situations that it applies, but obviously not in form. But what I like about Tai Chi is the harmony, you know? To me, it's less about fighting things in this world, but, you know, like I said, it's good for wizards and for actual wizards. Didn't say that mockingly. I am an actual wizard. Here is Merlin's wand. You might notice it's from a gum tree. I did not take it with me from New Zealand. I found this thing the day after I dreamt, excuse me, that I had used it to write some shit on a wall that you can find now as the little discovery of Stephen and Evan Strong on ForgottenOrigins.org. And this one was given to me by the goddess. I found it the next day. I kept it for a little while when I was little. I left it in New Zealand, and then it appeared in the moonwalk in New Orleans on the last fucking tree, facing away from the river all the way on the right, facing to the river all the way on the left. The last tree box. Just found it there after I slept in that tree. So found it once after a dream, found it twice after a dream. Same fucking stick. This was a time in my life, around 15, 16 years old, where girls were being mean to me. No, they were being way too nice to me and then going and being way too nice to somebody else. And I was writing songs. So I had done some things, let's just say, that were a little bit temperamental, that scared the shit out of me because no one should be as fucking powerful as I was. So I put the wand back where the fuck I found it. And that was about 1999. Okay. In fact, it might have been on New Year's 2000. It might have been Y2K that I did that, actually. I don't know why I haven't remembered that until now, but I think I'm remembering that now. The night that it happened. Because I remember a lot about that night. And yeah, that's really the last night of that generation of going out with those friends and shit. Like, and I never went back to the French Quarter again until after Katrina hit, after Hurricane Katrina. So I had put that wand back in that box on the riverbank. Then after Katrina, I was there with this girl named Raquel, this blonde, rich bitch. I enjoyed driving her fucking Mercedes. She had one of those CLK 230s with the compressor and the glass like slant back. You know, those were pretty little sweet fucking cars, man. That thing got up. I don't know whether I was really dating her or just dating her car, but I lived in my car at the time. And the fucking wand was sitting exactly where I left it after after the trees had been removed because they were about to demolish the whole goddamn place. They were about to redo it, you know, remodel everything. And they had dug up the trees. The trees weren't there. The tree in that box was gone. There were lots of little twigs and shit and leaves and, you know, like the remains of some really old school um, what you call it? Not peat. Fucking chips, wood chips. What? Oh my god, I had my own fucking gardening business. Mulch! Mulch. I'm like, I've unloaded truckloads of this shit. Why can't I remember the fucking name? Okay. Mulch. You know, like some old school fucking chipper shreddery looking mulch. There was this fucking stick sitting in the exact place, location, and direction that I had left it. And you know, when I left it there, I of course, you know, imagined myself, or actually did. I didn't really give a fuck. I was practicing to see if it was real. Magic in general. How much control I could actually exert over it. Whether or not it was just a demon shitting me. Whether or not, you know, like, I had enough corroborating witnesses to confirm that it wasn't just a delusion. And, oh yeah, I did. You know, including fucking making somebody just drive off the damn road into the ditch. Because they, you know, pissed me off. But yeah, I've hung on to this ever since. You know, when I put it there, as I was saying, I kind of like put like an imaginary protective barrier over it, you know, but also said like, if God wills me to find this, then this barrier will hold, then this will actually stay right here where the fuck I put it. And one day when I come back and if I find it here again, that's when I'm gonna take it. And that was around the point where I started having dreams of everyday life. Just the whole future. Just not even exciting shit, just everyday shit. Just dreaming about it. This right now. The past now. And the bitch I was living with at the time, I actually made the mistake because I didn't really think out the sentence. You know, you ever tell a woman something and not have thought out the sentence? Yeah. Or tell your significant other or whatever. And then you say the sentence and then you realize, oh, I didn't think about that before I said it. And if I would have thought about that, I wouldn't have said most of it. Well, this was definitely the most one of those that ever could be. Whatever the adjective is to describe that, it was the most that of this. Yeah. I had a dream, honey, that I had 2 daughters. And only the youngest one was mine. I did I wasn't thinking like there is time, and things happen in order, and that does not compute because she does not have a daughter. And oh, the fucking way her face just went. Fucking starts spinning around and shit. Vonnegut right here. Whew. That was a scary bitch. Yeah. I'm starting to realize I don't need to write a stand-up comic routine. I can just tell fucking stories. Just remember the stories I have to tell. That's all I need to do. Remember just the fucking wild, dumbass shit that I've done. Some things maybe I shouldn't tell, come to think of it. Um, let's talk about Larry the Skinhead who liked to jerk off in front of people. What? No, let's not and say we did. Thank you, I appreciate it. Um, I always considered myself to have had the skill level as far as delivery. And we used to actually have like production quality around here. We used to have like a screen with graphics and shit up. And I would go over like world maps and ancient history, and it was all very informative and stimulating. And you know, if you're gonna spew, you can spew into that or whatever. Um, Convenient. Well, despite that, there's this little thing I do called actually correctly analyzing geopolitics 2 years before anyone else can. And for some reason, YouTube isn't on my side. I'm on America's side. I thought YouTube was an American company, and YouTube's not on my side. I'm on America's side. They're on whose side? Russia's. They're on fucking Russia's side. While I have this out. Yeah. I feel better now. So anyways, I wonder if you can figure this one out. If I told you my penis was the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex's baby's arms, just one arm, would you know how big that was? Size of a baby T-Rex's arm. I can't figure it out either. But as we learned earlier, it probably has 3 claws on it. Anyways. Oh, my poor remaining zinnias. Fucking cyanobacteria growing around them on the back glass over there in a little stagnant spot. It's just so sad. You know, they haven't been doing well since the Wave Maker. Broke. Come to think of it, maybe I'll try to aim that other one back there more. The fucking anemone's already moved back there. Huh. Yeah, did I miss something? Somebody coming out with the... Oh. I saw the numbers there, and I was like, you have the exact measurement in centimeters of a Tyrannosaurus Rex baby. Yep, checks out. Oh. Oh. Okay. Anyways. No, but seriously, tiny toilets piss me off. Anyways. How long has this fucking stream been going on? 111. Boy, I should be this channel should be recognized, if for nothing else, than the fact that I accidentally made a live stream called Data, titled before the stream title hasn't been edited. Nothing about that video has been edited. The title of the stream was Data. And without paying attention to the time at all, I managed to make the stream length 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. Priceless. That's like that perfect bullseye that you know you're never going to throw again right there. That's... Only, you know, you weren't even fucking playing darts. Like, I wasn't even trying. Data. 1 1 1 1 1. I'm a geek. This is what that. I can't remember what I was saying. Now I'm just confused. Just read the comment. I'm like, low and tiny, just high. What? Yeah. Anyways. So, I really wonder how juicy shit got with Mike Flynn. How much was he willing to squeal on them? When did his security clearance get revoked? Because technically, if he kept his security clearance, they could simply convince him to flip, not with threats, but with truth. Yeah. We found out the Russians were fucking supplying the Taliban. Mike. You want to go do another gala dinner with them? Mike? How about you, James? Mattis. Not James. James Mattis. Yeah, James. You and your being a loyal subscriber. How dare you? Anyways. But Trump, I'm so tired of this fucking patsy version of the story. ABC 13 Australia has actually done the best expose I've seen so far, including actually doing an extensive enough interview with Felix Sater that I learned some things. Needed to know. and the fucking special counsel really needs to think about. Up until the time of the Cole bombing, before 9/11, up until 98, basically, Felix Sater provided the United States government with information on Al-Qaeda. He's connected to the Russian mob. Who did he call up? You know, like, he found 5 fucking Stinger missiles, apparently. I think it was 5. You know, the particulars of focus or what stand out in memory. Just the fact that he fucking says he made a call. He was able to call around and locate these Stinger missiles for the CIA. Who the fuck did you call? Like, is there some kind of dominoes that, like, also deals in jihad, you know, like... Yes, you've reached Muhammad's Pizza and Small Arms. Is that delivery or carry-out? I'm looking for some United States Stinger missiles. Is that delivery or carry-out? Cat, what are you fucking with? Cut it out. Fucking retard. Oh, he's flipping Dingo's bowl. Oh, you want some water? Okay, I'll give you some water. That way you can't flip your fucking bowl. This is Muhammad's Pizza and Small Arms. We have a special today. 2 toppings, 2 RPGs, 2 AK-47s for $200. Alala. Is this a house or a residence? Yes, we have an infidel special today. Buy 1 large pizza, get an extra pizza for each additional finger of a Jew that you bring us. Too far? Too far? Hey, I'm not the one fucking cutting up Jews. Last I checked, I was a specialist in countermanding anti-Semitic propaganda. Apparently Dingo was thirsty. That's right, Simba was in here. I'm sure Simba was at the water for a while. That motherfucker there. He was way over on the other side of the yard this morning, and I shook some food in a cup at him. Never seen him move so fucking fast. Ooh. All that fat was just like jiggling down his fucking body like a caterpillar wave. That is a fat fucking cat, man. my friend, my friend. Welcome to Muhammad's Pizza and Small Arms. What can I get for you today? Yep, I'm looking for 5 American-made Stinger missiles. Is that delivery or carry-out? No, I'm just trying to locate them. Okay, one minute. Please hold. I will call my driver. Like, like who did he call? You know, who did he call? And then, you know, because apparently all it takes to foil Al Qaeda in the 90s is a fucking phone call. And then he was the person to supply the cell phone numbers that were used to track GPS coordinates on bin Laden's compound that Clinton bombed. So the Clinton bombing, attempted bombing of Osama bin Laden, was because of Felix Fuck Sater. And you know, his entire life basically has to do with contacts between Trump people and the Russian mob. Like, that's what he's been doing for the past 20 fucking years. You know? After being this guy who magically knew fucking Al Qaeda phone numbers and shit. You know, if you have a drug dealer's phone number in your cell phone, chances are you don't run a rehab clinic. I mean, I've just been trying to apply basic investigative principles here this whole time, okay? So this guy who gained our trust on one hand, but when it came down to it, basically let us down. Bin Laden was not killed. Had undisclosable, you know, possibly deceived us about how he found out those things, right? Fuck, how fuck do we know? He goes to work for Trump. Well, with Trump, I think, at that point. Basically as a non-associated liaison between Trump and the Russian mob. Office 2 floors down from Trump in Trump Tower, Soho. And what do? They go and build 2 more fucking towers in New York. In a hurry. Both of them done before 9/11. One is Trump Tower on whatever, 5th Avenue or whatever. And the other is right across the street from the UN. Right there on the fucking river. Right by the UN. Black square. Speaking of jihad, you know, big black square building, right? Right by the UN. You see, the Satanists who built it understand. I just wish more people did. And then, with the help of Larry Silverstein, and the only person who could accomplish keeping Donald Trump's name off the book, Larry Silverstein and Donald Trump bought the lease on the Trade Center. With an insurance policy worth a $3.2 billion profit. And then 5 weeks later, these people that Felix Sater knew so much about helped them collect. You see, when Trump was building, there was a vacancy. You know, by the time he had finished building those towers, it had gone down 20%. But it was at 41% when he started those projects. And you're talking about these old things that the Russians came in and loaned him money for after he fucked up the casinos. Okay? I believe the Saudi Arabian things have been more recent, but could be right about that. But his contacts with Saudi Arabians would be very interesting to go back to at that point, too. But, you know, his affinity for mafia stuff can't be a coincidence, and it can't be overlooked. Because it was, in fact, Saudis, not Afghanis. Bin Laden himself was a Saudi, not an Afghan. Yet, reason for why Khashoggi was killed. If he caught on to this, sure. The only reason why I'm not worried about anybody coming to kill me is because I'm the guy who thinks he's Jesus. How convenient that I should actually happen to be the reincarnate Merlin and John the Baptist and so many other things that you would assume are just a fictional story of a crazy person. So when it all comes down to it, they can just say, oh, don't listen to him, he's crazy. But oh well. If it keeps my family safe, it keeps my family safe. And fate has determined that my family should be safe. Thanks, fate! Fate has also determined that I kind of need some deodorant. Oof. My wife had the heater on a little too high for my preference. And, anyway, not leaning over to the left and hurting my back again. Not leaning to the left. Not to the left. Shout out to fate. Shout out to all the ancient gods and goddesses out there in the audience. Thank you for, like, gambling and shit. Y'all beautiful crowd. Except you Medusas. You's an ugly bitch. Oh, speaking of Callisti, I finally started watching the StarCraft 2 movies. That was one of the first fucking finger snaps that I indulged myself with. And I never got around to actually getting the game. on a fucking computer that was, you know, worthy of it. But 2011 was the last time I played actual StarCraft, and I sent that one back in time, and I said as much. I'm like, no, that's I want that now. I just want to see it. I didn't even want to own it. I just wanted to see it, how pretty it was. Like, it was like, yes, well done, children. I love seeing man accomplish artistic and technological excellence combined in so many different ways, especially when it comes to cars, man. Like, you can't look at like a Mercedes SLR McLaren and think God is not at least a little proud of mankind. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, they built that for Jesus. Why does it have a V12 in it? It's only got 2 seats. Because Jesus wants it to. How come a luxury car needs to go 200 miles an hour? For Jesus. Yep. And he shall ride a white horse. And I think it was the name of the horse, not the rider. The horse was faithful and true. I don't know if the rider was faithful and true. But if the horse was named Faithful and True, then apparently Jesus drives an Acura Integra, because Acura Integra means faithful and true. There's my old white Integra, and there's another white Integra sitting outside. White Integras are just kind of my thing. But Jesus is not my name. Notice how technical I was with that. Jesus is I am in Gaelic. So, but that's what it means. And Yeshua is not the translation of Jesus into Jewish. Yeshua is the translation of Joshua. That's a different name. Joshua. Yeshua. Yeah, I mean, the championship white is just a beautiful color. It's, you know, it's like the color of abalone. It's the color of, like, the purest form of nature, like coral, skeleton, you know? Sand. Pure sand. Coral sand. And that's really what I like about the newer paint that Honda's been using, the Orchard White Pearl. Oh, so pretty. Especially in a Louisiana sunset. Oh, we always got the low misty clouds. Always nice and pink and yellow and shit. Unicorns? Oh fuck, I got lost again. Like, you can't paint a unicorn. I mean you could. It's like, I don't think the unicorn would appreciate it very much. Or do unicorns come in championship white? Yeah. Yeah, unicorns do come in championship white. That's because they're made by Honda. I mean, you'd have to be built by Honda to be required to fart glitter and shit rainbows. That's all I'm saying. And that, as you know, as you should know, is a rainbow. I mean, is a unicorn's superpower. So. What are you doing? What's the matter? You're freaking me out, Ariel. Give me 1 second, let me feed these fish. Alright. I'm going to try and re-aim this power head right quick while I'm at it. Over here. I think I can get it to go a little bit back in this corner. Alright. That didn't really fucking do much, but I tried. Oh. I'm just not doing well on maintenance. I can't do enough water changes for the algae not to just like be taking over shit. So just now, I seen Ariel sitting in the callirpa. And I thought she looked dead. She's fucking fine. She just found a little spot and she was just like, motherfucker, I needed a rest, you know, like. Yeah, you better not, Petey. Petey takes one nip at my, he's the fuck out of there. Same thing with Leo. He can nip at Smurfette. Smurfette's a bitch. Smurfette deserves it when she gets nipped at, but like, it's Mai's tank, you know. All 55 gallons of that shit belong to her. Petey's just there to stir up food for her to eat. Although I'm wishing I never put him in there, because the number of stomatellas that he killed, it's just tragic. But he's started to finally take a few pellets here and there, but he doesn't really more, like, he just doesn't give a shit about the pellets because he's got so much crap to eat in that reef tank. Did you say something? Oscar 6 axolotl catfish. Live in Australia, but you got freshwater, eh? I gotta give you a hard time. It's like, oh, if I lived in Australia, the damn acropora I would have, but nobody would care, because everybody's got acropora out there. They've done this big thing to, they've launched another wave, should I say, of restoration of corals, replanting corals on the Great Barrier Reef. But last I checked, the Mississippi River was still pumping out poo-poo water. But Bill Gates has said he wants to redesign the toilet. I'm like, no, I already did that. I have a house that's designed to grow food for the people that live in it by utilizing their shit. That's it. Just a whole aquaponics system that starts with fucking the toilet, basically. And the only real bad part of the system is if your cleaning bypass valve ever got clogged. Yeah, hippies are already at that, see? I know that's not a unique idea. It's just something that's built in as an option on one of my flood-proof building designs. Basically, the building is designed to incorporate that, and the building itself is a both plantable and solar surface. Yeah. Gandhi grew his own food from his shit. You know, that'd be a great thing to open up at an awards ceremony with. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Were you aware that Gandhi grew his own food from his own shit? Our first award for the evening. Anyway. So Robert Mueller was head of the FBI. head the investigation that made the first edition and second edition FBI reports, which I read both, including as I was about halfway through the second one, they sent a follow-up email the next day. This was from Federation of American Scientists, Stephen Aftergood. Sent a follow-up email the next day with a combined document that had a line through what they had changed and brackets around what they had added. So you could just read this one fluid document of like how they were fucking changing the story. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, a publicly released investigation like that, according to the mandate that established the Warren Commission and was not set to expire, cannot outwardly implicate Russia. They couldn't do it with Kennedy. They couldn't do it with 9/11. I think that law was terribly out of date. But on some level, it was being followed, if not by Mueller himself, then by some of the people who were working for him or giving him information. Possibly. It's also possible that there were already enough Republican collusionists with this Russian plot to fucking, you know, fake a rescue on the American white people so that Russia could destroy us. In reality, you know, we're going to come save the white people from being outbred by Mexicans and you know, and their mean old black president. You understand? I was told, I was propagandized when I was fucking barely getting hair on my nuts, okay? That's the thing about, you know, skinheads that you gotta realize. They shaved their heads like that way back when their balls matched. So if you see, like, you know, two skinheads sitting side by side, just go up and ask them, does that remind you of your childhood? But I remember way back then getting told about how fast the Mexicans breed. And one day they're going to get a black president. Oh no, a black president. But that's all right, because we had a plan called Novorossiya. And the Russians, the white Russians, because Russians are white, the white Russians are going to come save us from the evil minorities. And I remember asking, who the hell are we going to run? We don't like Reagan. We don't like Democrats. Republicans are full of shit. Democrats are full of shit. Who are we going to run for president? Who do we want Russia to help us get as president? And the answer was in 1991, Donald Trump. Now, the only person who could keep Trump's name off the books, you see, he had tried to buy the Trade Center, but he was considered too high profile to be an owner of that kind of a building. Okay? Makes perfect sense. Larry Silverstein was a real estate lawyer. Okay, and what real estate lawyers do is they buy properties for big rich people with high profile names so that they can keep their name off of them. They'll buy it in their power of attorney name. Okay? So somewhere there is a power of attorney from Donald J. Trump to Larry Silverstein, and about $4 billion. Moving around somewhere, from somewhere. Probably Alpha Bank. But there were some independent, actual fucking Russian mob-style lenders that I saw interviewed once that given him money and trying to play defense for him. So I say, oh, it was no big deal. Like, okay. But if you wanted to put your name on something and the insurance on something, I mean, buy something and not have your name on it and have, you know, the insurance and everything taken care of, and, you know, it's a big fucking government deal, so it's like extra scrutiny involved. The only person in New York City who could have kept Donald Trump's name off of the Trade Center is Rudy Giuliani. The man who walked around that day without fear. Now you see, if you're in a gang, you're a bunch of criminals, right? And you're about to sneak in somewhere and burglarize something. And the cops come, like ambush you. A situation in which everybody's terrified. And one guy is not terrified. One guy is just too cool. One guy is just like, He's the one that ratted everybody out. He's the one that betrayed us all. Rudy Giuliani just saw his own city attacked. The nation was crying for that city. He didn't shed a tear. Donald Trump, did he get emotional? No, man, he was just waiting ready to brag about shit and how much he was doing. And I don't care, criminal, combat, or any other fucking situation you can put yourself in. When a dangerous fucking situation goes out with catastrophic levels of destruction, people who aren't hardened fucking combat veterans, which neither Giuliani or Trump are, people who've never experienced anything like that, if they aren't scared shitless, then they knew it was coming. Period. Point blank. End of fucking story. And then the nail in the coffin, really, as if all these coincidental, circumstantial connections between Al-Qaeda, Russia, Trump, and 9/11, and then fucking Giuliani, of all people, being Trump's last bold defender. Oh, the irony there. It's a mystery to anyone who doesn't just realize, oh yeah, they were fucking behind 9/11. It makes perfect sense once you realize that. Doesn't make any fucking sense otherwise. Why the fuck is Rudy Giuliani ruining all the respect that remains for him by being this fucking weird bat lawyer? Alex Jones, Seventh-day Adventist and Russian paid shill. Yep, Giuliani was responsible for the faulty communication radios. Yep. I'll take your word on that. Sounds about right. I think I've read that a long time ago. Don't have it firmly in memory, but sounds about right. And thanks for adding. If verified, that is certainly conducive to the conclusion. But the nail in the coffin comes with the overt contradictions that followed. Alex Jones, Seventh-day Adventist, guy who built a fucking church in honor of David Koresh in Texas. That's a real fucking thing that actually exists. Okay? He is the poster child of 9/11 conspiracy. He is the number one fucking 9/11 truth now. Fucking 9/11 was an inside job. Live 9/11 was a big blow job. And he talked about World Trade Center 7. He talked about the video with Larry Silverstein. Oddly, not as much as most other 9/11 conspiracy theorists. You ever notice that? You ever notice of all the different things that Alex Jones talked about regarding 9/11, he was not one to dwell on the most consequential piece of evidence that 9/11 truth theory had, which was the collapse of Building 7 and the video of Larry Silverstein saying we gave the order to pull it. Alex Jones not only didn't dwell on that much, but there's a reason why that becomes obvious when you just see the videos of Donald Trump saying that he just got off the phone with Larry Silverstein, his great friend. Donald Trump, the real estate tycoon. Larry Silverstein, the real estate lawyer liaison. Those are facts. Him being great friends and saying as much, that's a fact. Alex Jones having Donald Trump on his show, that's a fact. Alex Jones' minions basically were the American side of the Russian troll army. That's a fact. Alex Jones never once mentioned that Donald Trump and Larry Silverstein were connected. While both of these men basically promoted this conspiracy that our government killed 3,000 of its own people, the fact, conspiracy of them. Donald Trump on 9/11 was already talking about bombs in the basement and shit. Well, I guess he would know. It was his boys that put him there. But he was sowing the seeds early on. And even used as, like, you know, Alex Jones would play clips of Donald Trump talking about the shit. and use that as evidence. But never did they mention Donald Trump and Larry Silverstein are such great friends. Now, do you think Alex Jones, the entire idea that Donald Trump wasn't behind 9/11 hinges on you thinking that Alex Jones never knew about these many different videos of Donald Trump saying that he was friends with Larry Silverstein? You understand that? That is flawless logic. The only way Donald Trump is not behind fucking September 11th is if Alex Jones somehow just missed the numerous videos in which Larry Silverstein is identified as being his great friend. Anybody else got any argument with that? Anybody see a possible way I'm wrong there? Oh, in the Pull It video, he said he had to consult someone else. Well, there you have him. And there we have probably a phone record that can be tracked. A phone record that would have been submitted to Robert Mueller if it wasn't for Rudy Giuliani, the only other person that could keep his thumbs on the scale in that investigation. Now, I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I have been one for a long time to say that conspiracy theories are lies that are promoted by the Russian Federation and by Islamic fundamentalists mostly, even some pretending to be Jews, some pretending to be Christians, to cause the American public to revolt against their own government. You know, to say, elect somebody who just wanted to destroy the system, drain the swamp, was it? Shake things up. Destroy our country. Yeah, we decided to pull it. Yeah, you're right. We decided to pull it. That implies co-ownership, doesn't it? But somebody challenged the logic. The only way Donald Trump, Giuliani, and Alex Jones and Larry Silverstein weren't themselves behind the crime and the cover-up of 9/11, and Alex Jones, being the accuser, is part of the cover-up. You see, that's an essential part of the cover-up. The only way to cover up the use of a weapon of mass destruction is to use a weapon of mass destruction, you know? Sorry, that just sounded too catchy not to say. Oh my God, you fucking blasphemous little box. The only way Donald Trump wasn't behind 9/11, the only way Giuliani didn't cover it up, the only way Alex Jones' entire purpose wasn't just to distract from this, is if the entire InfoWars fucking network wasn't paying attention when Trump said, Larry Silverstein, great friend. No, man, our government genuinely doesn't know because of a few people in it. You know, the Bush administration wasn't behind 9/11. They were afraid that Russia had something to do with it. They fucked some things up. They covered up their fuck ups so they couldn't be criticized for their response. Okay? And I was one of the original 9/11 truthers. I know all the fucking original data. I know how the data evolved from there as well. I was typing my fucking document on 9/12 that was later circulated at the Sundance Film Festival the year before Fahrenheit 9/11 came out. Right, the Bush administration could barely get out of its own fucking way. I mean, who do you think coordinated that conspiracy? Scooter Libby? And fucking Dick Cheney couldn't coordinate a fucking conspiracy with Al Qaeda. He's too soft spoken. I can't hear what you are saying, my friend. Could you speak louder? What? That's just a joke. No, like the only person who could have fucking had anything to do with it is Cheney. Right? Because lying about the fucking phone call with the F-16s. But essentially, all he lied about, all he covered up, would be us shooting down our own fucking plane because it had become a clear and present danger to a larger group of people. A by-the-numbers decision would remain classified and have a legitimate reason for a cover story. Okay? Because you don't just want to fucking freak people out and cause unnecessary strife. You know? It was either a couple of hundred people had to die or a few thousand people were going to die. And the government does not have to sit there and have those 100 people's families in fucking raged by the government's decision. Okay? They have the right as a government to cover that shit up. Okay? It's just about expedience. But if you think the government of America is capable of such a fucking vast conspiracy, you obviously don't have many family members who work in the government. I do. They're not that bright. I mean, they're good people. They're smart people, some of them. But when it comes to pulling off a conspiracy like this, the only way to do it is on a local level with the help of a local government. Okay? The only way to cover up the 9/11 investigation would be through the district office of the FBI. Oh yeah, wait, more of Rudy's friends. Damn. Or the mayor's office, which was Rudy. Because you can't cover up something like that on a federal level. There's too many layers of accountability. There's too many people involved. The only place where something like that could be pulled off is where law enforcement and the mafia are intertwined. New York fucking City, baby. New York City. Why didn't they attack the White House? That's why. Why did the government not mention Russia? because they didn't know what the fuck hit the Pentagon. And they're not going to send a fucking wave of panic over the American people and waltz right into World War III without being absolutely fucking certain about something. And they weren't. They had conflicting information. Conflicting information caused by their lack of awareness that Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump, people on the ground being relied upon were traitors. Saying the government is too big is rhetorical nonsense. Government isn't too big. Unchecked corporations are too big. Unchecked corporations like Google. Unchecked corporations like Facebook. Having unbridled and unprecedented control over political discourse. Unbridled and unprecedented control over the success of who gets to even have a fucking business in this country. Okay? The government doesn't control that. There's not some conspiracy that's going to keep you from having a fucking permit for whatever you need to do. Okay? It's not the size that matters. It's how you use it. And you see, it was the size of our government, it was the ethical standards that prevail throughout our government in reality, not in the propaganda universe, that necessitated Giuliani being the one to coordinate the cover-up and the interference with the Mueller investigation. You know, it's not too far-fetched to think that the DNA lab that the blue dress was sent to happened to have been set up by the Russians 10 years earlier. Okay? It's really not too far-fetched. You have to understand their level of planning. When you do, that's just fucking business as usual for them. Okay? You know, fucking blow an intern, pee on a mattress, it's all the same shit. Okay? Blow an intern or get blown by an intern, one of the two. Yeah, well, isn't that how it goes? Bill Clinton was sucking Monica Lewinsky's dick? Yeah. They were having a 69. He was holding a cigar and never mind. I'm holding in a fart. Here, let me light that for you. Okay. I love Bill Clinton. Uh, you know, I don't know that Monica Lewinsky is a pathological liar. She sure as fuck seems like one. I don't know whether or not Bill Clinton got a blowjob under his desk. But you know what? At no point did I give a fuck. At no point was I like, oh, the president doesn't deserve a fucking blowjob. You know? I mean, the Chucky movies had just came out, and Hillary Clinton, you know, kind of had the same haircut, and, you know, that's not going to get you hard. You know, I love Hillary Clinton, but I can see why somebody might get tired of fucking her, you know? Right. When the Soviet Union claimed to have fallen, our fucking governments were just so eager to pat themselves on the back. And all the fucking Russian infiltrators were like, oh, we can stop spending money now. And, oh, let's go do business over there. And, but somebody, please tell me, how is it possible that Donald Trump is not behind 9/11 unless Alex Jones did not know somehow that he was friends with Silverstein? How the fuck did all of InfoWars miss that? Okay? Like, okay. Yeah, they vastly underestimated the Soviet Union, exactly. They thought Russia was at the top. They didn't understand Mongolia. They didn't understand that this was a cultural thing, that this is something that you cannot kill. It's an idea, you know? The Horde. I mean, like, okay. Let's think about this from a sociological perspective. Do you think that people in Manchuria, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Chechnya, even, have no idea who Genghis Khan is? Hmm? You think people in Mongolia aren't taught about Genghis Khan? Because you'd have to think that not to consider the perspective that that might give them. It's like being taught about Hitler or Stalin, only that they didn't really do anything wrong. Because from their cultural perspective, conquest isn't. Now consider all those surrounding nations and how many of them have been told, and rightly, correctly so, not rightly, but correctly so, that they are ancestors of Genghis Khan. That Genghis Khan he had one of the most prolific penises in history, okay? He fucked everybody's mama, okay? In one way or another, everybody out there is fucking related to Genghis Khan. They know who he is. They know what he did. You don't think that affects their psychology and how they view geopolitics? Like when they're after the mob, they didn't disband after Godey. Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, Godey's mob thrived until who took over? The Russians. Genghis. Kenghis? Some people say Genghis, but it's definitely a G. I don't know about a K. But people also don't understand what a short time ago that the Mongolian horde nearly destroyed all of Europe. And you really gotta like get into your older age in life to understand that a few hundred years ago isn't a fucking short time ago. The Golden Horde was at Europe's doorstep until the 1500s. Okay? Which means that in 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, Europe had already been under siege for nearly 1,000 years. Just slowly shrinking, dissolving, being overrun. Yet we're taught the perspective of colonialism being some form of conquest. And then we're told about Eric the Red. And there's this mystery. Oh, why is there no record until 1492 of anyone going to the Americas from 900 AD to 1492? Did nobody get the slightest bit curious? Well, you see, when the bad guys are coming and you make your escape, you don't fucking tell them where you're going. It's that simple, folks. It's just that simple. When the Austrians and Russians came here, even Swedish, you can see how they were more likely to see Native Americans and think, we need to kill those fuckers. I'm not stating that to point out that it was anything other than a misguided, stupid, tragic fucking mistake. But these people came to America not because people were picking on them in their own countries for being Christians, because their countries were being overrun. Very similar to Gorgon. Anyway. But you know, you thought Yeshua meant Jesus, and you thought Magdalenia was some kind of fucking whorehouse village. Magdalenia was Europe before the Horde came. The Horde was already coming before the time of Christ. The Horde is why several nation states, city-states, unified later and became Rome. That was a resurrection of what was left of the Magdalenian Empire. Mary Magdalene, okay? If married to a prince from the west, would have ascended the throne of Magdalenia. Very similar to the reason why the Gauls were having a civil war that Caesar helped decide. And again, mis fucking stated history. And nowhere is it written down that Caesar conquered Gaul. Okay? Gaul of barbarians who had basically been raiding Bavaria for the fucking generation before that, had moved into France and sought political alliances with different Celtic nobles. Okay? And those Celtic nobles rebelled. They allied themselves with the Germanic barbarian tribes. Okay, and that's why Caesar came. Caesar was from the south of France. He was from Gaul too. And while we're on the subject of people who are from Gaul, so was Jesus. At least that's where his parents were from. Well, his, oh, but it's a virgin birth, immaculate conception. Okay. Hercules, Hercules. You see, just because stupid people confused something later and wanted to embellish it for the sake of telling bedtime stories doesn't mean that it's not an embellishment of an actual event. But leave it to the Catholics to make something so pure and down to earth and so relevant to your everyday life and turn it into some weird fucking cult taxation. You see, that's why Peter wanted to fucking marry her in the first place. Oh yeah, you kids don't know about that. Peter was the high priest of the Pharisees. Or did you imagine that, like, some temple guards came and said, do you? Said, no, I don't know him. And they just believed it and moved on. And then came and asked them later, and do you know him? No. No. Okay. We're not going to, you just look like that guy who, and you were just like, you know, you were there like fucking 20 minutes ago, but you say you don't know him now. So, okay, we believe you. Yep. His hatred for women, his hatred for Mary in particular, was deep seated. Anyways. You know, the only way I can think of that water was turned into wine is metaphorically. Because that marriage, that's what ultimately led to both of our death sentences. That wedding. Never got to hold the service. Never actually got married. But it was enough to bring about my death. Water into wine when my time had come. But in the bedtime story version, you generally leave out the blood and the guts. Anyways. Catholics have a good pope. Catholics have many good people. The Catholics just owe me, and it is their duty to corroborate my memories, because my memories are the exact things that they've been covering up all these years. And they will see themselves waste into nothingness should they fail to complete my task for them. And in fact, if it doesn't happen soon, they could see their pretty little city in ruins. But yes, we're never allowed to discuss anything in a factual way. We have to pick among the decisions that are made for us. Does Jesus and Mary having a child mean that Jesus wasn't really the Son of God? Or does it mean that the Bible isn't true? Or, whatever. It couldn't possibly mean that the whole idea of divine rule was actually founded on something. It couldn't possibly mean that having babies isn't evil, and that maybe it was the men who were mistaken about the religion and not the religion itself that had failed. Because, man, if you can have sex with a woman and create a child and stuff like that, and be all pure and holy and the Son of God, either that makes Jesus a sinner, or that makes women equal to men. Oh no. Yeah, that's not how Peter rolls. First commandment, be fruitful and multiply. Catholics, if you really want to follow God's teachings, you have to not have children. What? Fuck off. Time travel and kill Peter. Nah. Things would be so much more boring by now. You see, the truth of Christianity, the truth of God, is so glorious and powerful that for mankind to have a free choice to reject Christianity, Christianity had to be corrupt. Plain and simple. There would be an unbalanced force in the matrix if there was no hypocrisy woven into Christianity, if it were not attacked and infiltrated by Satanists from the beginning. I mean, that's like saying what would have happened if Judas didn't betray Christ. But, yeah. All the butterflies have been much more carefully arranged than things might appear. So stepping on them wouldn't do anyone any good. But I do enjoy debating such things just so I can verify that my plan is the best plan. I mean, if it isn't, fuck, I'm wasting a whole lot of time being linear. I'm much more comfortable being non-corporeal. I can't even tell you. Oh, speaking of little hidden Christ stories, like from Bleach and what we were talking about earlier. Cisco. There's another one. Cisco, perfect example. He is corporeal, linear. But I'm struggling to find a fucking way to argue with the idea that Alex Jones never mentioned Donald Trump's good fucking best friend, Alex Jones, never mentioned, kept secret, basically, okay, that Donald Trump and Larry Silverstein were friends. The number one 9/11 conspiracy theorist helped keep secret information that implicated Donald Trump. In what universe does that not imply Donald Trump was behind 9/11? Oh, I'm sorry, Misha. Didn't realize you were right in front of my foot again. You got this whole build-up to where he positions himself. You got his current lawyer being the only one in the position to obstruct Mueller's original investigation. And then you got Mr. 9/11 conspiracy. He always underplayed Building 7, okay? Alex Jones always underplayed Building 7 when it was like the number one obvious fucking thing. You look at it, it fucking implodes, the top goes in, fucking goes straight down, and then you got Silverstein. We decided to pull it. We who? Him and Donald Trump, obviously. Alex Jones, nothing. This to me seems like a lot more than circumstantial evidence. When it comes down to it, those acts in themselves, the fact that he was being a public propagandist and misleading the American people in the way that he did while covering for someone else, That's obstruction of justice and witness tampering, okay? You see, Alex Jones was never seen as someone who was obstructing justice because Giuliani made Mueller think that he had all the information available to him. And Alex Jones was never seen as someone who was being paid to promote a specific agenda. He was just seen as a crazy fucking conspiracy theorist. But if Alex Jones was not a paid conspiracy theorist and was in fact itemizing a specific agenda, that agenda was to blame the United States government and to ensure that Donald Trump did not get blamed for it. Because there is no other reason for Alex Jones to have failed to acknowledge, failed to bring up at all ever, no InfoWars journalist ever brought up Larry Silverstein and Donald Trump's connection. So he is therefore covering up, assisting in a cover-up of a crime. And there's no other reason for someone who is your friend to go and make sure that nobody knows about one thing and everybody thinks something else unless they're helping you cover up that crime. Alex Jones would not be failing to mention, there's no way Alex Jones would be failing to mention Larry Silverstein and Trump's connection if he was not aware that Donald Trump was behind 9/11. Where's the logical way out? Where's even a possibility of the interpretation of this data that says, oh, well, maybe this is the case? You know, if you were Satan's Jewish mother, a Republican pundit, what would you say to respond to this, to argue it on CNN, you know? Is there any fucking thing that can be said? Why did Alex Jones omit the implications of Donald Trump? Why did Alex Jones fail to mention that Donald Trump is clearly implied in 9/11? Why? He's covering for Donald Trump. He wouldn't be covering for Donald Trump unless Donald Trump committed a fucking crime. By all means, type out that logic and send it to as many fucking people as you can. Okay? If you got nothing else to do, everybody who's watching, that's what I'm begging you to do. I just sent that to Robert Mueller. And I hope as many people as possible. Send it to Congress people. Send it to Adam Schiff. That's the fucking nail in the coffin right there. I mean, we already had that before, but I didn't know before that Felix Sater had some sort of back channel information connection to out. Okay. The fact that there's a way to trace it all back with people means that flawed logic is going to lead directly to some evidence. So, on that bombshell, it's time to end. I'm starting to get a headache and just feeling weak all of a sudden. Blood sugar. Ugh. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really enjoyed chatting today, and hope you did too. Click the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Share the video. And go ahead and tweet at YouTube. This is the best channel you've ever fucking had. What the hell are you people doing suppressing and demonetizing him? Just bitch him out for me. Make me feel better. Probably make yourself feel better too. Later, y'all. Peace.